It's a Blazer. What's up, everybody? Welcome to No Control. So as you can see in front of me, I got this FMS K5 Blazer. Now, it's officially licensed by GM, so it's got this nice little sticker right here on it. So we are going to go ahead and get this bad boy out of the box because I want to see what this thing looks like. And it says it's orange, just like everything else that comes into this shop. It's orange or green. So let's get this bad boy out, really see what she looks like. Get you out. You strapped in? Yes, you are. Yep. All right, so here it all is out of the box. But before we get to the good stuff, let's kind of touch on this. So this remote, honestly, is pretty cool in itself for coming with a ready-to-run vehicle. It is an 11-channel remote. Controls lights, it controls the dig feature, it controls front and rear differentials, 2-speed, everything. You can go right through. We're on 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 over here. All these channels, you got all your adjustments and everything. We will get into that as we start running it, but for a ready to run with an 11-channel remote, it's pretty cool. So we got that, and we got our inner fenders that came with it. So these inner fenders were, they said only X amount from the beginning will receive these. And then after that, I believe you will have to purchase them if you wanted them. So we were lucky enough to get one of the first handful of however many they decided. So we got these we can put in if we choose to. And we got our booklet. Now the booklet truly is just an actual booklet. All exploded views, all that stuff. All the information you're going to need is in here. Enough of the boring stuff. Let's see what this looks like. Pull this plastic off. Now they plastic this thing up really good. It's on there. To watch the mirrors and all that stuff. Okay, there's that plastic. Take this little cap off here. Carefully. Oh, here we go. Here's all our stickers. Got our stickers for our windows. Windows right there. That's all for the cap. What do we got here? License. We got license plates so we can actually drive this thing around registered. Pieces, parts, side rails. Really cool. What does this look like? Now, we're not going to mount this on right now, but just for aesthetic reasons, you can see what it looks like. You do have to punch all these spots out to mount this on, but it's very, very nice looking. That's a very quality piece. We don't want to get that scratched up yet, so we will set that aside. Now let's go ahead and take a second and appreciate what this thing looks like. All right, so immediately looking right at it, this thing's incredibly clean looking. It's very, dare I say, elegant. It just looks very nice. They did a fantastic job having this thing look like a Blazer. You know, is it a soft body? Yes, it's not the super detailed hard body, but she looks really nice. This thing's gonna look pretty killer out on the trail. Get some good close-ups of things. We got the lights. I know the lights all work and all that. They have LEDs in them. Now we gotta, let's take this body off. How does this body come off? Okay, it does come off a tiny bit tough, but this is the first one. The first go around. Once you get used to a couple times, see, just like that. That one was a lot easier. Once you get used to it, it gets easy. Now it's a pretty nice looking inside. You can see, let's go. The light structures in front and rear. All the wires are all taped and laid out really nice. All the stuff that's door handles and mirrors are all pinned in, so you can take everything off. If you really wanted to keep everything in really good shape, you could take it all off and run it. And then this right here. So this whole unit is all powered. You don't actually have to attach a wire. These connections right here go right here. So the other thing to that is you're going to want to make sure these stay clean. So instead of hooking a wire up all the time, all you got to do is when you set the body down, these 3 posts connect. Now all your lights are powered up. So main thing is just to make sure you keep it clean. All right, so now that we got the body off, let's check the chassis out a little bit. We'll kind of go sweep from right front to back. Start right off, hard plastic chrome bumpers. They look really nice. They feel really nice. Here's our body mounting system right here. So I know in the video you might have seen it struggle just a little bit. So you just gotta, when you do it, kind of just pull back and you can actually push up on the post just like that, and that's what pops the body up. So the more you do it, the easier it gets. The first one was tough, the second one went easier. So we're all good to go. We'll touch right on the wheels and tires. Now, these do look like Swampers, although they're not. They're Mashers, I believe they're called. But they feel pretty nice. They feel nice. But they got a nice looking rally looking wheel on it, which is pretty accurate per the vehicle. So again, good touch of details. We all love it. Here's our servo. Axle mounted servo. All metal links, all in here. That's all good. Crossover steering. Threaded metal shocks. Threaded oil-filled metal shocks. Now it feels really plush, feels really smooth. And it's got a lot of movement to it because she is geared towards climbing. So got some nice running boards all in here. Now the body does slide into these to help hold it in. Here's your on-off switch in case you're wondering right there. So this is all really nicely made. These 2 little micro servos right there, one of them is your 2-speed transmission. The other one activates the dig feature. So I'm not sure exactly which one is which, but I know one does one and the other one does the other. And since we're right in that area right here, got the old 21 turn 550 can brushed motor. So that's pretty common for these type of things. Should get a good amount of power for it to climb over stuff. All the way back to our speed control with XT60 plugs. Now you might have seen me maybe peek out a little bag. There's a little extension. So in case your battery for whatever reason doesn't reach, they give you a little extension about that long just in case. So you got that covered. Nice battery tray right here, all central mounted to try to keep all the weight centered. So that should help hopefully keep this thing balanced. Everything I feel with how they built this. So we got 2 micro servos over here, 2 micro servos over there. So we'll kind of keep sweeping on back and then I'll spin her around a little bit. So again, kind of the same. Metal shocks. These are, like I said, these are threaded, so you can adjust them, which is kind of nice. Like I said, here's our electronic mounting system with the rear body mount back here. The only thing I can say is you're going to want to grab closer towards the center when you do it. Don't grab way on the outside. Before we spin her over, let's appreciate the bottom. So it does have a metal C-channel chassis, which is nice. Got all these mounting points inside you can do. Front and rear 4-link suspension, and these are metal links with plastic dry shafts that they're nice and snug and tight, and this slider slides in and out really easy. So should hopefully be no binding. Got a nice skid plate underneath. Help it slide and glide over rocks, and as you can see, the little bit right here, I got portal axles front and rear. Now, I don't know the turning angle on the front, but so let's give this a little crank. So you can see again, this is not with the servo, this is with my hand, but just lightly pulling it as far as she goes. That's a pretty impressive turning angle. So that should help quite a bit. Now let's spin this around right here. You can see right here, these 2 micro servos right here operate your differentials. So they can take them from open to locked. You can follow this cable right around on the rear, right in through there, and it actually hooks right over here. Kind of a neat system. I know we've seen it on other vehicles, but it's kind of neat when you can operate a differential in that manner. Really feels like, really gives you like a control feeling when you're out there. If it's not doing something you want it to do, you can change the differential and actually change the whole attitude of the truck. All right, so we'll slap the body back on. Now, it looks like it should really not be that bad. These got notches in them that these little things go in, and it's got a center post front and rear to help you guide in. So I know I said it wouldn't be bad, so let's just find out. Kind of like that. Takes a little getting used to, but honestly, a couple times of doing it, and you'll find it to be easier and easier each time. So, but the nice thing about it is there's you don't see any way this body's mounted on. So it maintains quite a bit of realism. So let's kind of get into size. So this is 10th scale. The tires themselves are basically just under 4 3/4 inch tall. The length of it, 21.5 inches. But there's two key features right here that we need to touch upon. Now, they kept in mind approach angles. So they really tried their best to tuck everything in as much as possible. So your approach angle on the front is actually 58 degrees. So anything 58 degrees and under, this thing's going to barely touch, or maybe not even touch at all. You'll be able to climb it. Now the rear is 48 degrees. But I mean, let's face it, I mean, going down, it might be a little bit of sliding, but you're already through all your hard work once you get to that point. All right, so we'll spin her to the front. Here's our width. Our width is 9.8 inches. So good solid width. All in all, how tall is she? 11.2. Just under 11.25 inches tall with a wheelbase of 12 3/4. So that's your generic specs. But I mean, looking at this thing, you really got to appreciate. I mean, I know we've seen vehicles like this before. The Traxxas, their K10 that they came out with, yes. Is this similar? Absolutely. But that platform in itself, honestly, was really, for myself, is one of my favorite crawlers. I have one. I've actually driven it quite a bit, and I thoroughly actually enjoy it. So it's such a solid platform that I'm really pretty hopeful that this thing's actually going to kick some butt out there. And I do have my K10 to put against this thing, so we're going to probably have to do that. Now, I don't know. Do you want me to ramble on about this anymore, or do we want to do anything else?
I want you to put the cap on it. Really put it on.
All right. So we just put a battery in this thing. And like I said, multiple channels on this remote. So let's quickly go through a handful of things that I literally just learned. We opened the manual for this one. So guys should be pretty impressed. So we'll start with the simples. The round one does the steering, and the little trigger thingy does forward and reverse. All right, so those are the easy ones. Now, channel 4, 2-speed transmission. Our guys up here, you can see these are our locking differentials, which are right here. So you can see, there we go. So let's lock those bad boys back up. Now we're fully locked up. This button right here, this is your dig feature. Lock that. So you can see, now you only got front. Unlock that. We're back to normal. What else have we got going on here? What are we missing? Let's throw this body on. All right, so let's see. So this one right here, she operates the lights. Now, when you turn it, I know it hits the directionals. What does it do that? That'll turn them off. So you can turn your lights off and on. And right now, with how it's set up, the rear ones only come on when it's in reverse. But we can pop that off. We can change it to wherever we want. But for right now, she does look pretty good. So plus we put our cap on it. We got the inner fenders in it. We put our cap on it. And honestly, this thing does look a lot better with the cap on it. Truly looks more like a Blazer. Looks killer. Really does. They really did a great job with this. It looks great. So I don't know. Trail it. Bring it to the trail.
Yep.
Let's bring it to the trail. I'm gonna let Alex drive it, so in case it gets scratched, I don't have to hear it.
Well, I'm going to keep this wrap up nice and short because we went over just about anything you would need to know earlier in the video when Brandon did the unboxing of this truck. The controller is super nice, and with all the functions, you do learn what each button does pretty quickly. It's nicely laid out. It feels really good in your hand. This is a great remote, especially for ready to run, and the 11 channel thing is crazy, but you do use quite a bit of them in this truck. Now, I'm going to get to the truck itself, and this thing actually performed above what I expected. I will say, it does everything that a TRX4 does, and it does it just as well. I know a lot of people say, oh, they look alike and this and that. Well, they do, but guess what? It also performs like one of those, which is a pretty solid platform overall. This is $399. Theirs is $500. So for the value, you may want to go with this one. And I will say, the light setup on this thing, I was a little scared about getting it wet, but I got it really wet, and I had zero issues with it at all. It climbed up just about anything I wanted. I was playing with the diffs, locking them in and out as I needed. It performs well. It really does. I will say I did leave the rear window out. Well, why did I do that? Well, I had one of these when I was in high school. Window never worked. It was always down. So it was kind of a nostalgia thing. And then I realized, hey, I can actually pick it up there, and it's a lot easier than trying to grab the bumper and whatnot. So it became my grab handle as well. The way these are mounted on the body is super solid. I didn't have a single issue with it coming loose. So that'll probably be the handle until I have an issue with it. But I don't think I will. Overall, if you want a crawler / can bring it in the mud, it's pretty quick on the high-speed gear, just overall fun truck, you can't go wrong with this FMS Blazer. You really can't. I regret spending my money on this thing. Zero. This thing is awesome. I'm going to keep it around. I'll probably put it up on the shelf. Brandon will probably want to put it head-to-head against his Traxxas TRX4. We'll do that down the road. But overall, if you want one of these, I'm going to say you won't be disappointed. If you want to help the channel out, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's super easy. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it really helps our channel out. We're growing fast. It's all because of you guys. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you. And if you'd like to purchase one of these fine products, there's actually a link down below. It'll bring you right to the FMS page, and you can purchase one of these. You will not be disappointed. Have a nice day.